On today's episode, DIY soundproofing, and specifically we're going to review the Acoustiblok system. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about some soundproofing and specifically a system made by Acoustiblok. Now, the heart of this system is this black kind of rubberized sheet that you see here. This comes in 4-foot tall rolls. It's about an 1/8 inch thick. And man, this stuff is super heavy. It weighs 1 pound per square foot. So that roll, when I brought it up the stairs, it is super heavy, very thick. I don't know exactly what the secret sauce is. It's not really a rubber per se, but there's something in there that's really heavy that's going to absorb that noise going from one room to the next. Now, when this system is complete, they tell you that it's going to give you an STC rating of 26. That's really good. So once we get the drywall on, we're probably above 30 for the overall system rating. Very impressive. But here's what I like about this. You know, most soundproofing is going to be done by the drywall contractor. That's not always the best guy in the world to follow the details perfectly. But on the other hand, this system gets installed even before the drywall contractor comes. This could even be a do-it-yourselfer. You know, 2 guys could probably put it up in a room like this in just a matter of 2 or 3 hours at most. So here's how it works. You're going to drape it in between the sheets. You're going to start at the lower section and work your way up. You're going to fasten it to the wall with a roofing cap nail like this. And then again, it wants to be loose in between those drywall studs. We don't want it tight. If it's tight, it's going to act like a drum and vibrate. We want it nice and loose so that doesn't happen. And then where the seams come together, once you get to that 4-foot level, you want to overlap those sheets by at least 1 inch or 2 and run a bead of their acoustic sound sealant in between those. Push those together, and then they make a very specific tape called Acoustiblok tape that my assumption is just has a special adhesive that's going to adhere real well to this rubber. Now, there's nothing special about this tape in terms of soundproofing. It's the overlap and the caulk in that seam that's going to do the soundproofing. So you don't want to just butt your joints. They need to be overlapped on this system. But as in all soundproofing, the devil's in the details. You got to do everything perfectly, and especially your penetrations. You know, think about this electrical outlet over here. If we didn't do anything special to that electrical outlet, air could pass right through that outlet, and that air is going to bring the sound with it. So we might have spent a bunch of money on this Acoustiblok, but if we don't do the outlets and the penetrations correctly, we're going to negate that. So first on this side, you see that these guys use the acoustic sound sealant against the plumbing pipes and against the electrical. Let's actually walk to the other side and we'll see what's back there. Okay, we're on the back side of that laundry room, and now I'm actually in the master bedroom on this house, and I like seeing the details on this side. See this reddish putty you see here? That's called an Acoustic Putty Pad. This is also made by Acoustiblok, and what this is doing, this is kind of like silly putty that's going to form on the back side of the outlet. It's going to stop any airflow coming through that outlet into the room next door. Now, you want to adhere it all the way around the outlet. You want to actually adhere it a little bit to the studs, and it needs to be adhered to the Acoustiblok as well. That way it's really going to deaden that noise coming through there. You also notice the builder did a great job of putting those on the plumbing penetrations through there. This is really a good install, guys. 2 things I might recommend as we finish this up and he gets ready to move on to the next stage. Number 1, put some Roxol Safe and Sound insulation bats in between these studs. That's going to help really knock down that noise. And lastly, consider going to a thicker sheetrock. A 5/8 rock is going to do a better job of blocking that noise. It's got more mass than the standard 1/2 inch rock. Otherwise, impressive system. I really like this. You can order this yourself online. You could do it yourself and know that you got the details right, and then you can let the drywall crew do what they know how to do best, which is hang and install that sheetrock. They're not worried about soundproofing, which maybe is not their specialty. Hey, for more information, check out my playlist below. I've done a bunch of different videos on all kinds of different soundproofing systems and what I liked about them. So check out that link below. And of course, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. We'll see you next time on The Build Show.